See, right now, I'm not breaking down a whole lot of words. If you listen to what I'm doing in this segment, I'm not giving you the Latin and the Greek and the Hebrew and the comedic, the cuneiform of this is what this means. No. A lot of times, too much teaching makes people arrogant. I know this and I know about that and I studied this and I studied that. What are you living? What are you actually doing? You see? And it is through that doing that you can begin to remove that cringe that you feel when you think about your past, and you begin to clean up what you can from your past, but you also begin to accept this new awareness that you are, that you're walking in, and you're able to put that past behind you. That's the only way, you see. So there has to be a new feeding, or like I said, there's a new feeding, there's a new food that you take in, and right now you're feeding. You see, because in order for you to grow, you have to eat. That's right. That's just what it is. So what are you eating? Well, you're eating the words of the Almighty. You're eating the words of Yah. You see, if you're in Ifa, you're eating the Ifa Odu. You see, but that's what you're eating. You have to breathe in order to evolve and grow beyond your past. What do you breathe? Well, you breathe conversation with the Creator. Some of you call that prayers, but I prefer to affirm or just commune, just converse. You see, you need to be able to be honest about where you are, to be honest and truthful about your struggles and your transgressions and the things. See, so that's the cleansing that comes in. In order to grow, when you have a baby, you don't leave the baby just dirty if it sullies itself or it goes to the bathroom. You clean it after it goes to the bathroom. You clean the baby, because if not, that poor hygiene could adversely affect the baby's health. So being truthful about where you're struggling is hygienic. It's hygienic. You see, being around people who care for us, being within a community of people who think like us, are striving like us for what we're striving for the same goals, striving to build the same kingdom, same kingdom, and who are respecting that kingdom. You see, that level of fellowship will allow us to grow. It's really the identity that we're destroying. We're building a new identity. That's why, the mathematics is always on point. The numbers don't lie. Number 8 is build or destroy. So we're destroying our identity to build a new identity. And that sometimes can be the most fearful place. I think in all of this, what am I going to be next? Who am I going to be next? And we can no longer really deny the fact that the addictions that we have, which was number 7, I think, the food addictions, but those addictions are associated with some of the things that we do and the roles that we play and the places that we go. And they get to a point now as we begin to mature that those things just don't make sense anymore. They don't even make sense to us. Just certain activities, certain places we went, it's like, I don't even know what I was thinking, why I was even doing it. And I really can't even take it anymore. I can't even stomach it anymore. And a lot of times that realization comes from like a rising of a new thought in us. And it's like, well, if I'm no longer that person, or if I'm no longer that entity, then who the heck am I? Or what the heck am I? And no longer being able to identify yourself with your previous role, it puts you into a place where you kind of feel like you're in limbo, or you're like a kite that someone cut the string on, and you're just kind of blowing in the wind, if you will. And it's kind of a suspense, but there's also, you can be terrified by the idea, depending on what kind of person you are. Now, for some, it's exciting. It's like, wow, anything is possible, and anything may happen next, and there's a lot of excitement around that. But for most people, it's terrifying. So it's like, well, I better hurry up and move into a place where I can figure out who I am, or hurry up and define who I am. So then we start to make these statements that make no sense. Well, I'm this, and I'm a child of this, and I'm that and that, and we're running and racing towards identity because we're so terrified of the drift, if you will, of the drift, and we need answers. At least we believe we do. We need answers immediately, and we need to have a place that we belong. And people are asking us questions like, well, what do you do? And what religion are you now? And what are you eating now? And we can't completely, we don't even know ourselves completely. So it's very difficult for us to answer those things. And, it creates that fear, and we can only really at this point maybe say what we're not going to do anymore, or say who we're not going to be anymore. And we get to a place where it's like, well, that's just not enough. It's just not enough. I'm going on this journey, but I don't even know who the heck is going on a journey, because I've lost my old consciousness. I've lost my old ego. So therefore, I've lost my sense of who I am. I've lost my sense of identity. So then sometimes there's this sad, I've watched this a lot, there's this sad, frantic movement towards trying to get a new one. I'm trying to get a new identity, I'm going to change my name. I'm going to go here. I just found out I'm 1/16th Blackfoot Indian. So, I'm going to get me a Blackfoot name, and things like that. So when you truly begin to get beyond that phase, and you truly